This dress, I'm going to be making use of this 100% African print here, and what I have is about 3 yards of fabric. So if you're going to make yours, you need to have about 3 yards of fabric. So now I'm going to go ahead and start taking the measurements on the fabric. So guys, for this dress, you're going to take a measurement from your shoulder down to where you want the shorter part of this dress to be, because the way it arranges on the body, some parts are short and the other part is long. So I took a measurement from my shoulder down to about 6 inches above my knee, because you don't want it to be too long. Okay, you don't want it to be too long. So I took that measurement and it was about 33 inches. So now, because this dress is going to be having a strap, I removed an extra 6 inches from that 33 inches. So I was now left with 27 inches. So that 27 inches is what I'm going to be using for my measurements here. So now I'm going to fold my fabric into two. I went ahead to cut it out. I am just going to go ahead and explain to you guys how I went about the cutting. So now I cut out a rectangle. A rectangle is like something that has one side very long and the other part is short. Now remember, I said my measurement was 27, so the shorter part is 27, okay, and then the other part, which is the longer part, was 27 times 2. So 27 times 2 is 54. Okay, so that's what I used for the longer part, and then the other shorter part was 27. So you're going to create a rectangle with one side 27 and the other side 27 times 2, which was 54. So that's what I have here. The longer part is 54 and then the other side is 27. Let's assume that you had 30 inches. It means that the shorter part is going to be 30 and then the longer part is going to be 60. I actually hope that you guys understand this explanation. So now I've cut out my rectangular piece, and I actually cut out two, one for the front and the other one for the back. So you're going to do that as well. Now we're going to determine the neckline on the longer side. So you are going to get the midpoint of the longer side. So from this place here, I'm going to just go ahead and measure to get the middle. So now once you've gotten the middle, the next thing you're going to do is from this middle point here, you are going to measure to both sides. Okay, so now from this point, I'm going to measure what I have from my shoulder to underarm. That's from your shoulder to under your armpits. Okay, what I have is 9 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and mark it here from this side. Remember that the first point we have is the center of this fabric, so I'll mark it here. Now from this center again, I'll mark the same 9 inches to the other side. Okay, so this kind of becomes the neckline and the armhole together, but you guys will be understanding very soon. Okay, so now next thing we're going to do is that from this second point here, you're going to make a stitch towards the end of the fabric, and from the second point here you make another stitch towards the end, and you will not be stitching the middle. So guys, I've made my stitch from this point to this side and did the same thing on the other side as well. It's very hard for you guys to see this right now because of the nature of my fabric, so I'm just going to open it up here. Let me just turn everything over and open it from the center so that you understand what I mean. So you see, I've stitched down the both sides. Now this center here is where I have my opening. So what I'm going to do is to fold in the opening here. So that's why you must make sure that when you are making your stitch, you make it at least ½ an inch or 3/4 of an inch preferably, so that you have enough to fold the neckline area. So I'm going to go ahead and fold in these areas here on the both sides. like I said before, this center opening is going to be the neckline and the armhole. So I'll just go ahead and fold it all the way to the other end and do the same thing for the other side as well. So guys, it's stitched down now, and I know it's going to also be hard for you guys to see, so let me just open it up again. So you see that this opening I have here, I've gone ahead to just stitch it down. You don't have to stitch it all the way to the end of the fabric, just make sure that the opening is stitched down, that's all. You can just stitch it about ½ inch away from where the opening actually ends. So now we're going to get the straps for the sleeves. I just folded this piece into two. You can just the same way you fold your bias, and the length of this strap is 19 inches. So I've cut out 4 pieces, and I'm going to be measuring the area of the neckline where it is going to be. So now on the open neckline where we just made our stitch, from one end of the open neck to the other end, you're going to measure what you have and divide it into 2 equal halves to get the middle. So now once you've gotten the middle point, this is like the middle of your neckline, okay? So now you want to determine how wide you want your neckline to be. So for me, I want it to be 8 inches. So I am just going to place my tape here, 4 inches in the middle and 4 inches on the other side, so I have 8 inches altogether. So I'm going to go ahead and place one strap here. As you can see, I'll pin it down here, and I'll pin the other strap to this other point here, okay? So in between the 2 straps, I have my 8 inches. Then the other opening on the side is definitely the armhole, okay? So now I'll place the same thing on the back patterns as well. Now I know this particular tutorial might not be the easiest for you guys because the division is a lot, and actually getting the whole thing can be quite hard to understand basically. So now I'm going to go ahead and tie this up. I just pinned it down for now, and I'm just tying up the straps. This is going to be the strap for the neckline. I will head over and use a sewing machine to secure them in place. So now I've arranged the straps to stand like sleeves. So you see how the whole thing now actually looks like a flared dress. It's actually a rectangle, but when you arrange the straps, it actually now looks like a flared dress, like a handkerchief flared dress. So you can see what the ending part is looking like right now. So I hope that you guys actually understand what I've done here. Honestly, you see I've opened it up, it still has the rectangular shape, okay? It's just when you put it on that it actually gains the flare shape that I am talking about, okay? So now the next thing, which is the last thing I'm going to be doing on this dress, is for me to go ahead and finish up the edges all the way around the 4 corners of my rectangle. I'll just go ahead and stitch down this area, do the same thing for all the other sides as well. So guys, after I was done, this is what I had. It is still a rectangle. You can see this is what it is. It's still very much a rectangle. I didn't cut it out as a flare, it's just a rectangle. So when I arrange the straps to stand normally, like the way they will normally stand, that is when I get the whole flare shape effect. So yeah, that's basically all for the making of this dress. I actually hope that you guys understand this tutorial because it is quite tricky. Even me, I know that for sure it is not very easy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this one. I hope that you find it helpful. If you are still yet to subscribe to my channel, hit on the subscribe button, and I'll be seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.